Originally starting life as a PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds spin-off, the Callisto Protocol evolved into a unique IP, selling itself as a spiritual successor to Dead Space. With co-creator Glenn Schofield and former Visceral staffers on board, it seemed to be in safe hands. Sadly, its 2022 arrival would prove critically underwhelming, and while selling a large number of copies, it fell short of Krafton's expectation of 5 million. When performing an autopsy with ambitious failures like this, you can levy a number of reasons why titles have been considered failures. But for this horror shooter, it all starts at home, the game itself. The Callisto Protocol follows Jacob Lee, a freight transporter specialised in delivering goods across space. Planning to retire after one last job, the Ambition is soon jettisoned into space as his ship is hijacked by terrorist group Outer Way. A severe crash sees Jacob and group leader Danny Nakamura as the only survivors, but it turns out death may have been the less painful fate, as both are incarcerated in Black Iron Prison. As if this wasn't bad enough, an outbreak of mysterious origin sees the place go to hell in a handbasket, forcing Lee to try and escape with the aid of another convict. It's not short on motion-captured star power, as Josh Duhamel and Karen Fukuhara try to liven things up as Jacob and Danny respectively, and Sam Witwer fleetingly shines in what little time he is given as antagonist Captain Ferris. Sadly, the story itself feels milquetoast, relying on generic tropes and twists done better by other sci-fi films and games. It feels awkwardly placed and lacks drive at times, resulting in a slow burner that never really ignites.
What'd you do? Huh? You can tell me. Are you different? Are you special? Why'd the warden want you alive?
On the surface, Callisto seems like a functional survival horror shooter. It's a rather linear affair, with more forward drive than backtracking, and while some side paths offer collectibles and resources, they're fairly rare. It retains a sense of immersion though, with health and ammo displayed on Lee's neck and gun respectively. Unlike its inspiration, there's a heavy focus on melee combat. It certainly feels weighty, with the stun baton found early on delivering potent hits against monsters. The dodge system takes some getting used to, with pushes on the left analog stick required to avoid attacks, but it works well after some practice. There's also some gunplay, with Jacob able to print mods for his armaments using credits and craft new weapons after finding schematics. His pistol proves quite flexible, with mods allowing you to add shotgun and tactical variants, though you do also acquire a proper shotgun later. There's also the grip, a sort of telekinesis which allows the player to grab foes and objects and throw them, which can be rather satisfying when projected into hazards such as spikes. It all functions well enough, even if melee and shooting can suffer from some clunkiness, such as the awkward weapon swapping. The problem is that this experience feels a little bit like Jack of all trades, master of none. The general exploration feels lethargic, jump scares are cheap, and there are few standout moments. One section, which requires restarting the power and allows you to grip throw monsters into the machinery for gruesome results, is perhaps a highlight. The prison itself could have offered a unique horror setting, but it never feels intuitively designed to reward exploration. The game is not short on variety, including a shift towards stealth gameplay in the latter half of the game, and some explosive set pieces that see you dodging hazards. These can result in some frustrating moments, such as instant death triggers. It's certainly novel seeing Jacob gruesomely perish the first few times, but repeated deaths prove less compelling. Boss encounters, mostly consisting of the same duel with a two-headed brute, feel cheap and tedious. Instead of feeling like a cohesive experience, The Callisto Protocol comes off like a melange of disconnected moments that lurch between dull and irritating. It doesn't help that Callisto's arrival on Xbox One is a bit of a technical nightmare. There's some excellent visual flair here, including fantastic lighting and expressive animation during cutscenes thanks to mocap. Some sequences look genuinely stunning, such as the flame-kissed escape from prison as everything goes chaotic around you. But issues with performance can prove very distracting, even harmful to gameplay. Slowdown is almost always prevalent, sometimes dropping well below 30 frames per second. Chaotic scenes run sluggishly and can see your dodge inputs mistimed as a result. Loading between deaths is rather long too, not helping to stave off frustration. Other woes like texture pop-in, visual bugs and distracting motion blur all add up, though you can at least disable the latter. The sound fares better, with decent voice work and potent effects for strikes and guns. The music offers some suspense, and the atmosphere is heightened by use of creaks, crashes and monster groan. All in all, you're looking at around 7 hours to polish off this one. At launch, it was basically one and done, as there was no chapter select and upgrades reset between playthroughs. However, 3 updates have added a new Game Plus mode to carry over gear, the ability to skip cutscenes to speed up gameplay, and a hardcore difficulty, which ups the ante of an already rather tough game. It's better value for money, though it can still feel a touch brisk. Repeat runs feel less enticing anyway. The Callisto Protocol proves a disappointingly middling effort, considering the talent behind it. Despite trying to carve its own legacy away from Dead Space, and succeeding in detaching itself for the most part, the experience proves largely unmemorable and lacking excitement. It tries to please multiple audiences but struggles, offering a deluge of elements but never really excelling at any one. Its stifling pace causes boredom, technical issues on this version grow tiring, and cheap moments ramp up the frustration. Unless you are desperate to experience some form of horror on the console, there's a myriad of better options available for Xbox One owners.